This step-by-step presentation will demonstrate for you how to make a boutonniere. We will use mini carnations, but the same technique can be used with sweetheart or even spray roses. First, gather your materials. You will need one open mini carnation bloom, one leaflet from a piece of leather leaf fern, one small cluster of baby's breath, some green floral tape, a number 26 gauge or even a lighter number 28 gauge wire, and finally a boutonniere pin. First, you need to cut off most of the stem of the mini carnation. There should be only about 1/4 of an inch left. Make sure that you leave this 1/4 of an inch, because if you cut off the whole stem, the calyx, or the bulby part of the flower that holds all the petals, will fall off, therefore causing the flower to fall apart. Next, push your thin wire through the calyx of the flower. Half of the wire should be sticking out on each side of the flower. Then fold the halves down. This is going to become your fake flower stem. Floral tape is a waxy, stretchy tape that will stick to itself when stretched. It won't stick to other things, just itself. So you need to start taping where you poke the wire through the calyx. The stretched floral tape should be twirled around the whole stem so you cannot see any of the wire. If you can see the wire, then just start back at that point and cover that area again. All you need is one little side leaflet from a stem of leatherleaf fern. If you don't have any leatherleaf, there are many other options that you could use instead, like ivy, salal, or other types of ferns. Remove only one little side leaflet from the main frond so that will become the background for your boutonniere. You might need to remove any little mini side leaflets as needed to make sure that the leather leaf is the correct size. You don't want it to be overpowering, and you don't want it to be hidden behind the flower. Cut the stem of the leather leaf to a length just below your fingers so the bulkiness of the stem will be cut off. Use floral tape to connect the leather leaf stem to the floral taped wired stem. Next, it's time to add the baby's breath. And remember that the baby's breath is only an accent. It should not overpower the main flower. Take 1 or 2 small clusters of baby's breath, cut the stems to a length just below where you are holding it so that you can take off some of the bulkiness of the stem, and then floral tape the baby's breath stem to the main stem, remembering to stretch the floral tape as you go so it will stick to itself. Continue floral taping all the way down the stem so all stems that you've added create one single stem. It's important that your taping is smooth and all flower and foliage stems are cut short. The majority of the stem should be floral taped wire only. I'd like to finish my boutonniere stem by creating a curled stem. This can be achieved by curling the end of the stem around a pen or a pencil. The curl should be smooth if all flower stems have been cut short prior to floral taping. Then cut the stem to the correct length. The stem should be no longer than about 1½ inches. Finally, place your boutonniere pin in the stem where it's easy for the customer to find. They can then pull it out and pin it to the lapel of a man's jacket. Make sure that the point of the pin is hidden in the calyx or the stem of the boutonniere. You don't want your customer to get poked. This should be what your final product looks like. Everything should be in good proportion to the rest of the boutonniere. Remember that you could use other flowers rather than a mini carnation. Sweetheart roses would be handled exactly the same. I hope you were able to follow this lesson and begin to practice your boutonniere making. It gets easier with practice, and it's fun to do as well.